Welcome back to Maintenance Minute. I'm Jim Viebrock. In today's episode, we're going to learn how to pour a concrete pad or how to fix a section of sidewalk. Let's get started. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jim Viebrock. On this channel, we do all kinds of home repair projects, and today we're going to pour a concrete pad. This particular pad is going to have a 500-gallon propane tank sitting on it. You may be wanting to repair a section of sidewalk. The steps are going to be the same. Once you get the sidewalk taken away, you can just form it up and pick up where we're going to start here today. So one of the things that you've got to talk about or have in the forefront of your mind before you start is having all of your tools rounded up, because once you start this process, you can't stop. So let's talk about the tools that you're going to need. We use some concrete stakes, but you can use wooden spikes to hold the form in. You're going to need some 2x4s or something bigger if need be for your forms. And then you're going to need to put some kind of base underneath it. It's not a good idea to use dirt for your base if you have to build it up. The reason for that is there's organic material in your dirt and it will decompose. That's going to let your pad sink. So what you want to use is some kind of a fill. In this case, we're using a dirty base, is what we call it here in the Ozarks. It's just a 3/4 inch chat that's got a lot of sand in it. It packs very hard, and once it gets wet, it is very hard all by itself. So that's what we've used to create our pad here. We leveled it all out. So you're definitely going to need a level to start this out. And then when you're building your forms, you're going to need a square of some kind. You're going to need some finishing tools, and you're going to need an edger if you want to do it that way. You're also going to need a shovel. You're probably going to want a rake. You're going to need a broom and a board to do the screeding across the top, a wheelbarrow, and of course a hose. So we're using bag concrete today. It's 80-pound mix. I can handle an 80-pound bag. Some of you watching may not be able to handle an 80-pound bag. It comes in 60-pound bags and it comes in 40-pound bags. So get the size bag that you're capable of handling. In many cases, you're going to have to mix a lot of bags to do any length or any size of a pad at all. So you don't want to overwork yourself. So the first thing that you need to do is make sure you have all of your tools rounded up and then get your pad level. From that point, we're going to make sure that our forms, which in this case is just a 2x4, we went 36 inches by 6 feet on this one, and we've used our concrete stakes to put it in there. We made sure, double, triple check that you are level in here, all the way across, all the way around, double, triple check it all the way, just to make sure that in this case it's level. Sometimes you may need to have a slope on it. Take care of that if you need to, but in this case I need my propane tank to sit level. So with that, we're going to get started, and I'm going to show you how to mix some concrete. So let's go over to the wheelbarrow. While you're mixing this, you don't want to get it too runny. The temptation is going to be to have it runny because it's easier to handle when it's runny, but you don't want it that way because it weakens the mix. All right, while I'm mixing this, I want to talk to you a little bit about some safety things with mixing bag concrete. So as you notice, there's a lot of dust when I pour these bags in here. This is why I pre-wet my wheelbarrow a little bit, is to help keep some of that dust down. That dust is actually not very good for you at all. If you breathed enough of it, you'd probably have to go to the hospital, and I can't imagine what a concrete burn inside your lungs would be like. What I'm talking about with concrete burn is there's a chemical reaction happening here. It's what makes the concrete work. So when you add the water, it begins the process on a molecular level, forming this for the molecules to join together. That chemical reaction can actually burn your skin if you get it on there. So you won't see concrete guys, unless they do it all the time, reaching in and touching the concrete itself. They'll be using rubber boots, rubber gloves, things like that. You do develop a bit of immunity to it over time, but if you don't mix concrete on a regular basis, try not to get this on your skin, because the chemical burn is really pretty nasty and it hurts a lot. Okay, once you have your form filled, you're going to want to get a straight 2x4 or some kind of straight edge, because we're going to go through here and we're going to fill in the low spots and scrape off the high spots. So I'm going to start down here on this end, and you're going to use a seesaw motion with doing it. And sometimes if you have two people, it's easier, one person on each side. But you're literally just going to go down through here and see where your high spots and your low spots are. And I can see right out of the gate, I've got some low spots. So let's just see what we have here. And you want to press down hard on both sides of your form. Yeah, I'm a little bit low, I can tell you right now. Yep. All right, so we're gonna have to mix a partial bag here. But this is why we do this. So we're gonna mix a partial bag just so that we can top this off. It's way better to have some pulled off than to not have enough. Okay, so from here on out, it's all about patience. And you can overwork your concrete really easy. So right now it's nice and wet on the top, and what you're seeing is what they call slip. It's that grayish brown colored liquid that's on top. That's the part that's going to make this concrete finish nice, but you can't rush it. So right now we have quite a bit of water on the top. We're going to just wait here for a minute, let it kind of set, and then we're going to start the finishing process after that.
As the concrete starts to harden, use the float tool with downward pressure and an arching motion to work out any of the imperfections in the surface, being careful not to overwork the finish.
Okay, so this is an edging tool, and we're going to go along here and separate the form, so to speak, from the pad. And this gives a nice rounded edge on your pad. Maybe rushing this just a little bit. But you're going to go right along the edge of your form, and you're going to work an edge onto it, just like this. And don't worry about getting just perfect, because you're going to broom this in just a minute. So there we go. We can clean up those edges. Just bear with me for a minute. We're just creating that nice professional looking edge on there. So this part here is about right. It's a little wet over there yet. Okay, you've decided to do this yourself, so you've saved a lot of money. So I always encourage you to go pick up some tools when you do it. So the finishing tools are about 20 bucks a piece. So, go get those and just have them in your arsenal. You can pick them up at garage sales too. I bought a bunch of them at garage sales. And then you have them. Now, what I didn't talk about is rebar. You may need to reinforce your concrete pad at some point. We didn't put anything in here. This concrete has a 4,000 pound compression strength, so our propane tank's nowhere near that. So if you were going to put rebar in there, you would have done it before you started finishing. A lot of people will have it laying in the bottom. I don't like that because you have to reach in there and pull it up. I would put a little bit in, then put it on top and kind of sandwich it in like that. They make fiberglass rod today, which I actually like better than the rebar. The rebar can rust, and then it will expand, and that will cause your pad to break and maybe even have a chunk break off. That's called spalling. So I like the fiberglass products that they're doing today. You may be wondering why we poured a pad for our propane tank. You may go out into your own yard and see that your propane tank is actually just sitting on blocks. That's fine too. But from a maintenance standpoint, I don't like having to weed eat around my propane tank and underneath it, and things hide underneath it, and it just and leaves get caught, and it's just kind of a maintenance issue for me. So to satisfy my OCD, I pour a pad, then I have a nice clean edge underneath my propane tank.
When you are putting a broom finish on your project, the surface doesn't have to be perfect. So when you are satisfied with the basic appearance, but before the pad is too hard to leave an impression, you will want to drag a wide broom over the finished surface. Gently place the broom on the opposite side from you and pull it across the surface, trying not to allow the broom to dig in. This finish will cover or hide most of the imperfections in your finish. You will be able to remove the forms in about 6 hours, but wait a full 24 hours before putting the pad into service.
Well, it's been a couple of days and our project is almost done. Our pad is fully cured. We're waiting on the propane company to bring the tank over to the new pad. We've got our gas line in and the air conditioner is already up and running. You may have noticed in the background there's a new project house in the works here, and it's a cute little craftsman style house from the early 1900s, and it's going to give us a whole bunch of really cool projects to do. So be sure and hit that notification bell and the like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next project.
Are you interested in woodworking or home repair? If so, please look at maintenanceminute.net. Hi, I'm Jim Viebrock, and I'm the host of Maintenance Minute. From my website, you can watch videos on how to build a variety of arts and crafts projects, full-on woodworking builds, and home repair and remodeling tips, too. We recently added an archive section where you can see over 40 years of projects that I have built. Please take a moment and visit maintenanceminute.net.